Welcome to No Pity FC, where we're bringing you the latest news, views, and analysis on the beautiful game. I'm Jesus Marquez, and I'm your host for today's episode. And today we have a special guest, Rocky, who's a Timbers super fan. Rocky, how are you doing?
Pretty good. Couldn't really be better at this moment.
Good to hear. All right, so what we're gonna talk about today in today's episode is go over the Timbers versus Seattle game real quick, since unfortunately we weren't able to get a podcast up for that one. And then we'll also cover the Timbers versus Austin FC game, and just a quick preview of what's coming versus Atlanta on Sunday. What were your thoughts on the Seattle game?
Couldn't be better. Got the result we wanted. We took the result we wanted. Seattle came in with the wrong mentality, and in which I thought that we were going to fall again. I thought it was just going to be, if we draw, we still won the Cascadia Cup, but I really didn't want to lose, and that was kind of the mentality a couple days even leading up to that game. Just go in there, make this your game, take it, do what you guys do, and don't think about anything else. So
Yeah.
and then we won Cascadia Cup for the first time since 2017.
Yep, it's
And
back home.
yep, and I think one of the best droughts to break is the not winning at home versus your rival. So now
Mm-hmm.
that'll just have that in their back pocket. They can no longer say this is our house. Like it's not. Like
That's right. Yeah. And funny enough, we beat them 3-0 at their ground. So
right, we swept them. It was the first time since like NASL, I think, since we swept them
yeah,
in a season. So
that's
I mean,
crazy.
all those stats in one game, like that's what makes it so special. It's your rival. You come from behind, you win a cup, and you knock a bunch of statistics and droughts out of the water. Like
Yeah.
it was a figure of speech. It was a grand slam.
And hopes
Uh,
for the playoffs are still alive.
exactly, and it just carried over to the game to Austin. So
Yeah. Speaking about Austin, the Timbers won 2-1, just like they beat Seattle 2-1, but this time it was the opposite. They were up 2-0 instead of being down first. So yeah, what are your thoughts on that?
I think the mentality carried over. I think it was kind of maybe it could have been a battle of hangover good games. We came off a really good game versus Seattle, and they came off a really good game beating LAFC with Bale and Chiellini and all
Yeah.
their spectacular stars.
Yeah.
So it was a matter of, could Austin get themselves back together, and will they take a? It's just going to be. It felt like it was just going to be another win in Austin. Like, even me before this, I fell into the mentality that I shouldn't have felt with the Seattle game, which was just go in and win. But I wrote it in my post, like, we can't go in and match the mentality. We need to come up with a new one and go in there and just beat Austin. And that's
Right.
what they did. They calculated who they were. I think the big switch or the big change for Austin couldn't figure out was our 5-back yet, which I know seems like a small adjustment for Gio to go from 4 to 5. But when you have, better players on the wing back,
Yeah.
Bill
Makes more
in
sense.
that situation, yeah, then we're gonna play better. And I think there's a huge vibe right now between Zach, Bill, and Eric. Between those three guys, they're doing great things right now. Eric needs to, because he's working on USM national team performances, so he needs games like this.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he's definitely running out of time, so he needs to get things
right.
going. In that sense, I mean, I think along with the mentality, I think we kind of spoke about this the other day, how the Seattle game was gonna be the turning point. It was gonna be the season's over, or it's we have hope for playoffs, and if we do get there, then we can see a totally different team in terms of mentality. I think that they definitely kept a good like structure within the within the formation, like against Austin. And I guess same with Seattle. They they were pretty compact. They didn't mess up that much in terms of defensive errors. Like I had discussed about not Blanco, sorry, Bravo, being lacking on the left side, and then Van Rankin as well on the right side, in terms of defense. And these two games, I think, they did all right. I don't think they had major mistakes or anything like that. They did a really good job as a whole team, keeping together, keeping that formation, and staying to the plan rather than making dumb decisions. And because at times when you're a player, you get caught up in the moment, and you see an opportunity and you go for it without realizing that you're leaving an open space behind or whatever, and that could cost you essentially. And I think that tends to happen a lot with our fullbacks. So I think for the last 2 games, they've been doing a really good job on that.
Yeah. As far you did mention, I mean, we talked about Bravo in another sense, and then I kind of kept an extra eye on him. And if I could put an analogy on how now I feel about Bravo, like I still love the guy, but I feel like there's a basketball analogy for a defender when you're making blocks. There's the guys that slap the ball out of the air, and then there's the guys that actually pull the ball out of the air. So you go for a shot, and instead of slapping it, they actually put 2 hands up or 1 hand up, and they curl it, and then they take possession. And that, I feel like Bravo needs to do more of that, or doesn't do that enough. And I feel like he's so good on the tackle. He's so good at slapping the ball out of the air, but he doesn't maybe take as much possession enough. But he also, I think he leaves a lot to the midfielders to come up and help him out too. So he's left alone a lot, because I feel like maybe he is a better player and they feel like they kind of leave him alone. And I think with Van Rankin, on some occasions, they had to come back and help him out.
Yeah.
He's just not as fast.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think they rely on his speed a little too much as well with Bravo. It's just that they think they can,
No, I think we can't burn the Diego Chara matches on offense too much. I love it when he comes forward and gets chances and makes plays. But I love him as an anchor and being able to take balls away from strikers coming forward at speed, because he's so fast enough to just outrun anybody.
Yeah, I think he's just so composed at all times as well. Like his composure makes him, he's always a step ahead. So he, even with his speed and quickness, being ahead of the game is even better.
And even him and Zach switching off, I think, is a great thing to do. Like either anchor Zach because he'll just bulldog you off the ball, or anchor Diego, or because he'll outrun you to the ball. So no matter who's swapped, as long as you don't put both of them forward, and that's what was problematic with Mabiala, I feel like, was if he was too far forward, he was never fast enough to get back.
Yeah.
And if he was too far forward, Diego Chara probably wasn't in that back middle.
The thing with Mabiala too that I noticed was his footwork. that would put us at vulnerable positions at times. There was actually 2 games in a row. I don't remember which games, but there was 2 games where Mabiala had lost the ball and we got counterattacked from, and we actually ended up getting scored on both occasions. And again, and there was
and there was 2 occasions where the ball was at his feet for a clearance and he missed it. It was like, dude, it was at your feet, and all he had to do was kick it out, and he just let it go in.
Yeah, but I think that they're figuring it out, and I think with everyone, I'm pretty sure everyone's healthy for the most part. So I think going into the playoffs here soon, hopefully, I I think we'll be looking all right, honestly, and especially um, with the schedule we have. I think if we can get through this, like it'll be tough, obviously, but for us, it's gonna be such like a mental like turning point because they know it's like, okay, this is it. You know, like we lose one game, our chances of going to the playoffs are completely done, and having one of the toughest schedulings to finish off the season. Like if they can get through this, I think they're gonna go into the playoffs very strong-minded and like, you know, we can beat anyone that gets in the way.
Yeah, and honestly, this is a perfect setup for playoffs. Because let's say we win out and we get a 5 seed, we're still getting away matches until the cup.
Yeah.
And even then, it depends. So the best thing we do is fight for the highest away seed we could possibly get, because that's what we could only really hope for. And then all those games that we play away are hard games. And if we beat Austin, what the fuck? Why not?
Yeah.
Like, if we can beat Austin at home, everyone going into that game thought we were going to lose 5-0.
Yeah.
Everybody. And even Portland Timbers fans, like, we're going to lose 5-0 to that game.
I thought we were going to lose.
I was afraid we were going to, but I was like, no, we can't do it. Like, but I felt a lot of that vibe.
Yeah.
It was heavy.
No, if I'm being honest, I mean, I didn't actually think we were going to lose. Maybe 30% of me did, but but no, I mean, because I went and watched the highlights of like the previous game that we played Austin, and I think we did a really good job keeping our formation as well during that game. And I said to myself, if we can do this, replicate exactly what we did on this game, there's no way we shouldn't beat them, Yeah. And I mean, there you go, we proved it. They kept formation, they did everything right, and we beat them 2-1. So I think it's all in our hands, honestly. It's our league to lose at this point. I know we're not in the best position to say that, but like I said, if it's just the scheduling, it's so perfect. Like as an athlete, if you can get, you want to overcome these challenges, and that's the biggest challenge you got right there. And if you can overcome that, I guarantee you these players are going to be so confident, nothing's going to get in the way, and come the playoffs, they're gonna kill it.
Yeah, right. And to think about it means these are a lot of teams that we're going to face in the playoffs if we make it.
Exactly. At the end of the day, if you're going to have to beat them anyway, so might as well
do it now. Just do it now. Get something in their head that makes them think about us. Win the game now, and then get into the playoffs and go to their field and be like, all right, we're going to take you again.
Yeah.
Just like we did in the regular season. I honestly think that's the best setup. We're road dogs. Like, we win on the road.
Yeah.
And if we can win on the road in this stretch, and we can win on the road in the playoffs, we can make MLS Cup again. I mean, it sounds crazy to maybe 75% of our fan base right now, but why not? I mean, we did it last year. We went in with a winning streak, and it's the MLS. It's fickle. The Galaxy isn't guaranteed to win their games. They've been such a roller coaster. They could draw a couple, lose a couple.
Yeah.
Same with RSL and Nashville.
I think out of all the games we have left, I think our toughest one is definitely going to be Real Salt Lake. Why? Because I think that they're going to want it as much as we do. They're only like 2 spots ahead of us on the table, I believe. So, they're going to fight to the end. When it comes to LAFC, on paper, it may seem like the toughest opponent that we have coming up. But that's going to be like the last game of the season. I don't think they're going to want to put all their players out, and they're first in the league. I don't think they're going to come full, all at us.
Yeah. And honestly, I don't think Bale will risk playing on turf before the World Cup.
That's it.
On that game. Why? Why risk it for the bit?
Yeah. I mean, he did just come for vacation. I'm pretty sure he's going back to Europe after the World Cup.
Yeah, seriously, he just came for the training, really, right? If he could win LAFC, if they win another Shield, congratulations. That's awesome. But there's a curse with the Shield, and that's taking a month and a half off and then playing your next game cold.
Yeah.
And trying to figure out who you were
Oh, yeah.
6 weeks ago. But
Mm.
that's what happened to the Revs. It, happened to LAFC last time. I think they lost to Galaxy even in the playoffs, didn't they?
I think so. Yeah, I don't remember.
And then they didn't even make the playoffs last year, so it was like the year before that. So no LA, no California or Texas team made the playoffs last year.
Wow.
So anyone who makes it this year has had a good turnaround, for sure. LAFC definitely a good turnaround. Austin, great turnaround.
Yeah.
I think Austin used us to figure out how to play everyone else, and then we curbed them as far as how they play against us. So, which is kind of funny. I feel like that they have a Rudy, which is one of our pass strikers.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And one of my favorite guys, Julio Casante. There's one of their starting center backs. Who I love Julio. He was my first guy who ever gave me a jersey, just because he gave me.
Really?
So, yeah.
That's awesome.
It was it was the COVID year. I was at all the games for COVID year, and he just wanted to say thank you for all the support and being out there and hooking me up. So,
that's awesome.
No, yeah. So, but no, I'm stoked for Austin. I think last year was a good momentum for them to figure out who they were and get rid of some of the not so good players and dial in like Driussi and Fagundes. And they did a great job on their DPs, and they're performing, and they're not getting as injured as other DPs. So that's gonna get them a long way.
Yeah, I love their stadium. I like the lights.
Yeah, right. It's a little trippy, but it's super cool.
Excuse me. Yeah. So now, speaking of Timbers, let's go on to the following game that they have this Sunday against Atlanta. What are your thoughts going into this game? Do you think they're gonna end up winning? I mean, obviously, I think everyone thinks they're gonna win, given the fact that Atlanta's like, I don't know, like way down on the table. But
yeah,
I don't know. What are your thoughts?
I think it's a special. I think the boys want a special game for Gio. I think they want to win this game just to get back at losing for the MLS Cup. I think that's an underlying bite that the Timbers kind of have.
Yeah.
With Atlanta. I like Atlanta. I like their fans. I feel like they're the founders of the East.
Yeah.
With their big giant football stadium. Sorry, my ears straight. With Seattle's big giant football stadium and the same with Atlanta. But like I said, I think it's gonna be a game for Gio. I think the players want to win for Gio. Like I know Gio really wants to win this game. And just another W for us to get going into this playoff run. We've got a good confidence builders with the last two games. I think this one will put. I think we already know. We already have the confidence. I think this will really capitalize.
Yeah.
And this will put fear in the rest of the Western Conference to watch out for. If we win this game in Atlanta and make a big game, if we win like 4-0 or 3-0.
That's what they need to do, because I feel like they've been struggling to like have games where they really like dominate, Like they haven't had a game where they absolutely dominate the team.
Since SK2.
Yeah.
We haven't. I feel like we've had those opportunities though. Like we've had the chances, because literally what it is the good bounce.
Yeah.
It's literally between the soccer gods saying, you know what, you're gonna get this 2 millimeters down off the bar and into the back, or you're gonna get it 2 millimeters up and it's gonna go over the bar. So, I think we're creating a lot of good chances. Like even a lot of the tie games we should have won. We created a lot of really good chances.
Oh, for sure. Like I think we spoke about this. Like their unbeaten streak. Like that should have been all those games. Most of them should have been won rather than tied.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, definitely. There's very few games that should have. But I think I think versus Atlanta, I would be disappointed if we got a draw. I think we win this game. I think we win this game with an exclamation point. And I don't even think it puts us on the power ranking. And I don't care. Screw the power ranking. Like, we weren't on the power ranking last year either until the last minute. So I'm not worried about it this year either. But like I say, if we win this game, we put a huge amount of pressure on LA Galaxy. And we put even more of a distance between us and Seattle and us and Vancouver.
Yeah, I think at this point, like, I'm gonna look at the standings real quick because I just want to verify the points. But I think our biggest concern should be Real Salt Lake. But again, let me double check.
That's our last game. But to put an analogy on that as well, I have like 5% battery left.
Okay.
To put in a quick analogy on that as well with the RSL game, is like in an F1 car, if you're going around a corner at 150 miles an hour, you're gassed out.
Yeah.
But if you go around at 100 miles an hour, you're okay because you're not getting as much downforce, but you're not going fast enough to go around the corner. But if you go 130 miles an hour, you're screwed because you're not getting as enough downforce, but you're going too fast for the aero grip.
Yeah.
So you slide out. So it's like you're letting off the gas 10-20%. You can't do that. I think the Timbers have to go full gas these rest of the games out. And I know it's going to be hard to start all these guys at those times, but I think we have enough rotation and good rotation. And I think we have great subs. I think the guys that we try to start as subs maybe aren't great starters, but are great subs.
Yeah.
So I think we focus on that. Like, the guys are tired from the last 2 games, but I'd like to see us start the same and maybe just sub out at 60 minutes instead of 70 and get those guys some reps.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think, we definitely can't let our foot off the gas because I just realized this. We have 29 games while LA Galaxy has 27 and Real Salt Lake has 28. So we're in danger here because
that's what I mean. No, just went out. Don't think about it.
Don't think about it.
Just went out. You don't have to worry about it. Like, just went out. Put all the pressure on them. Like, they're games behind, but they have to win. Like, that's the pressure on them. They have to win out. But there's no guarantee. If they draw or lose, like, it's still ours. We still have the cards, basically. Games in hands aren't guaranteed. I know it sounds like it, but
let's hope.
But you can't think, I mean, with Galaxy too, Galaxy's so up and down.
Yeah.
And they got a new player, but Galaxy's so up and down that it's not a guarantee. And I definitely don't feel that way. Like, even if I was betting, I'd be like, yeah, I'm not going to bet on Galaxy because they're so roller coaster and they haven't made the playoffs or played well in the playoffs since 2014.
Yeah, that's true. They used to be the powerhouse, but not anymore.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we're all looking forward to the game on Sunday. Hopefully, all goes well for the game. Let's hope the Timbers win and we stay on track for the playoffs. Because if we don't have playoffs, then I don't know. I'll be very disappointed. But yeah, thank you for tuning in. For those of you that stuck around with us, hope you enjoyed. And yeah, we'll see you after Sunday's game versus Atlanta. Thank you, Rocky, for being here with us today. Appreciate it.
All right, gracias, Jesus. Anytime, man, I'm here for you, bro.
Appreciate it. All right, thank you, guys, and don't forget to follow us on all our social media on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Apple Podcast, Spotify, anywhere. Nobody FC. Rocky, what about you? You have a page on Instagram. Where could people find you?
Yeah, follow me on Instagram. That's at Talkin' the Woods, TalkNDawoods.
Awesome.
I have tons of stuff, just pictures, memes, interviews, a little bit of everything. So check it out. Sure.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Vamos!